Counterfeit drugs are a deadly and growing problem globally, particularly in developing nations where supply chain security is limited. Over 500,000 people die yearly as a result of counterfeit drugs in Nigeria. The country's drug regulatory body, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC), says about 267,000 of these deaths are linked to anti-malaria medicines, which sadly is one of the most common illnesses in Nigeria. Determined to make a difference, Samuel Okwada has developed the Remedial Health application, where pharmacies and hospitals can make direct purchases of drugs from licensed drug manufacturers and suppliers. TV360's Tamilore Akinkule tells us more in this report.
The case of counterfeit drugs is quite dear all over the world. In Nigeria, the number of substandard pharmaceutical drugs is currently between 13 to 15%, which is higher than the global average of 10%, contributing to several deaths annually. Along the street of many cities in Nigeria, the sales of drugs by uncertified persons contributes to the increase of substandard drugs in the country. To fight the flood of fake pills in Nigeria, Samuel Okwada established the Remedial Health application to help digitalize the pharmaceutical supply chain in Africa.
At Remedial Health, we say we are digitizing the pharmaceutical supply chain in Africa, and we do that in a number of ways. So, for example, we provide software to pharmacies and hospitals for their operations. We help them with their supplies. So they can place orders for items that they need and get it to their stores without lifting a finger. Well, apart from placing an order on the phone.
The World Health Organization (WHO) has ascertained that 1 in 10 medical products circulating in developing countries is substandard, and with Nigeria's healthcare delivery system under attack from the influx of fake drugs, the Remedial Health application stands as an hindrance to the increase of fake drugs.
In Nigeria, the figure for counterfeit medicines sold is 40%. So 40% of medicines you buy are likely counterfeit. So if you go and buy 10 packs of medicines, very likely 4 out of those 10 are counterfeit. And these counterfeits are very good, like they're compared to the genuine product, exactly the same. Until you do a test, do you know that one is probably chalk while the other is a genuine product. And you can imagine how many people are affected every year. It's in the hundreds of thousands in Nigeria only, from counterfeit medicines. So it's either I have a headache, I take something which should help me, but ends up giving me a different illness.
With a large prosperity pharmaceutical industry, a landmark across 25 states in Nigeria, and a minimum order of 50,000 naira per order, the Remedial Health app is mostly used by hospitals and pharmacies as it helps solve the supply problem most pharmacies battled with during the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic when restrictions were enforced.
Within 2-3 days of the lockdown, pretty much majority of pharmacies had empty shelves. So people were trying to look for stock. They were calling us directly because we were pharmaceutical marketers at the time. They were calling us directly to supply them when typically we would supply through these markets. So when we started doing that delivery directly to the pharmacies, we felt, you know what, this market approach that we have in Nigeria, not just Nigeria alone, it's pretty much across Africa, where you buy medicines from an open air market is not sustainable. There are several challenges with buying medicines from places like that. And so we decided to solve it using technology.
In its first year, Remedial Health has supplied more than 100,000 drugs to various states across the country and hopes to improve the quality of lives of millions of Africans by drastically reducing the sales of substandard drugs. Tamilore Akinkule, TV360 Nigeria.